Hello, Vault Dwellers and Wastelanders! My name is Kyle, and I am your Overseer, aka the Game Master of our Fallout TTRPG series. You are listening to the Overseer's Log, which is our companion diary series that goes along with our weekly TTRPG. My friends and I meet up on Sundays, we record an episode, and then a couple days later, I record an Overseer's Log. This one is late. This is Overseer's Log 11. It is... I don't know, getting close to a week late. And the reason for that, we took a day off. We took Sunday off. Sky was out of town. DK had family. It was Easter after all. And I decided to be a little bit lazy, knowing that I didn't have to get this out before the next episode. So you're getting it now. And you're getting it in video format if you so choose. That's cool. The reason for it is that I was just recording over on TikTok, and I thought, why not spin up the camera? And the reason why not to spin up the camera is it gave us a lot of tech issues right away. The one computer here, it dipped in the frame rate in my recording, and the other one, yeah. So here I am. Hope the tech issues don't catch up with us again. What I want to talk about today are our summer TTRPG sessions that are open to all of our followers and people that view the content. It's open to people on TikTok and all the rest. So again, I was over there recording some explanations. What are they? At minimum, I am planning one-shot. So that is a campaign that takes place just in one episode. And I'm planning one 3-shot. So that would be a campaign over 3 episodes. You can imagine these are much less sandbox than a full-on, long-term weekly campaign. These are going to be oriented around onboarding new players from the Fallout universe. That's to say, people who have not yet played this TTRPG, have not played other TTRPGs, maybe they like Dungeons and Dragons or Critical Role or something else that exists out there. This is a chance for them to get in and learn the rule set from the bottom up. We're not going to get to everything in a 3-shot, and certainly not in a 1-shot. But this is a good chance to just see how people interact with each other at a table. I am looking for other people that want to join us in the future, right? There's other campaign ideas I want to do. I know that there's interest from my player group already that they want to take part in other campaigns. So this is a very much open-ended idea. I'm recording this on April 22nd. I plan on getting more details with our rule set solidified in May. What I mean by that, I've already got our safety tools and just generic rule guidelines. I reformatted those. I got them up to date. They're looking great. Next is to decide what campaign ideas I have and how I want to execute them. I've got at least 2 ideas in mind. One of them taking place exclusively within a vault as Vault Dwellers. Another one maybe about finding a vault, some that are not vault related at all. So I'm going to be tossing this stuff around in my mind, seeing what sticks in Notion and other note-taking apps. Look at my crazy hair today, everybody. Anyway, it's going to be a fun time for myself and others, I believe. I really see a lot of excitement at the comment section on TikTok and the rest. People are curious. I just responded to some TikTok comments saying, hey, I bought the guidebook. I bought the starter set. You know, I'm interested to play. Another person messaged me saying, I've been interested in this for a while, but I haven't had a chance to meet up with other players who are interested in it. So if this sounds like you, if you're someone that wants to get more involved or just experience it for the very first time, we welcome you to the table. These are going to be low pressure campaigns. They're going to be intentionally made for new players. They are going to be rule of cool, meaning that I am not a rules litigator. I am here to make sure that the campaign is fun, that the narrative that we tell, the story together is exciting. I want people to go home feeling like they've made good connections with other players. So that's what to expect from this experience. If that sounds interesting to you, leave comments below. Get in the Discord server. I would certainly say get subscribed up on Substack. Go to tftfallout.com. That takes you to our Substack. You can put your name in the mailing list there, and that will be where I get final details out to people for sure. Discord as well. Great. But what I also want you to do is in all this digital chaos, pick an outlet that you know you can connect with us. So if you never use Discord, well, you're going to need it for this campaign to be in voice chat. But if you never use Discord for checking things, again, make sure you're subscribed to the Substack because this stuff's going to come up a lot faster than we think. It looks like we've got like a month to figure this out, and that's true. But these 4 weeks fly by very quickly, and soon enough we'll be sitting down at the campaign table together. And right now I'm trying to get a roster of who is interested. So that's why I need you to make contact with me. I'd love to read your brains, but I can't. So if you get the opportunity to leave a comment on YouTube, get on Discord, or get into Substack, the only thing with Substack is I need you to tell me you're interested. So do say something in Discord, do say something on TikTok, comments, whatever you want to do. Just make sure that I interact with you in some way. I'm not ignoring you. So if I don't respond or contact you back, just know that it has gone unseen and to try again. What else can I say? If we have a lot of interest from players, we will continue to spawn these campaigns throughout the summer. So if I sort of have this schedule in mind that if I ran one a week for 4 weeks, that would be both the 1-shot and the 3-shot campaign. That'd be 4 episodes there. And if we have too many players to fit at those tables, let's say more than 4 people are interested, then I will just do the same thing the following month. I will probably spawn in at least another 3-shot campaign, maybe take a week off in there, something like that. So just so you know, this will be something we stretch out into the future. And here I am fully telling people this is a great opportunity for me as a game master to see who are good players, right? This is a chance for people to come to the table and make these friendships and connections and get to know each other, and could spawn out your own groups as well. But I'm interested in bringing more players on board for the YouTube series that we do. Not just Tales from Tomorrow, the Sunday show, but I'd like to host other campaigns, and eventually not just in the Fallout universe either. I'd like to do some other TTRPGs as I get more comfortable. But right now I'm locked and loaded on Fallout stuff, right? Like, this is the campaign I've been learning for a year. It's the one I've been enjoying hosting for a year. It sounds like there's going to be a cool opportunity for me to go and actually talk to some younger TTRPG players this summer and maybe host a one-shot for them in person. So there's some really cool stuff out there. That one's kind of tied to like a summer educational camp type of deal, and it sounds really great. Like, I'm really excited to be able to bring Fallout stuff to other people, share the passion. So if you're someone that's interested in playing with us, what should you keep in mind? You'll need a laptop or PC. Mac works as well, but so I should say desktop. You need a laptop or a desktop. It's got to be able to run the Alchemy VTT software. That is the Alchemy Virtual Tabletop. Alchemy makes me want to pull my hair out, but it's what I'm bought into, and it costs you nothing to do it. So get it. Make sure you can get it. That is where our maps run off of, and you're gonna need those, the tactical maps throughout our campaign. In addition, I mentioned Discord already. A microphone, very much must. What else do we say? You don't need any of the books, but you can get the free starter guide to get you started up on the Modiphius website. We do have a code for the Modiphius site, so in case you want to be a big spender and you do want to get yourself physical copies or even buy digital copies of this, use the code BTALES at checkout. B is in Bethesda, Tales is in story, and save yourself 10%. There's really great stuff up there. Especially use that code if you go crazy and buy all the minifigs off the website. You don't need anything to join these campaigns other than the mic, the computer, and the VTT Discord as well. But you don't need to go buy Fallout TTRPG books to join us. There is a great community member over on the Reddit, goes by the name Ziggy, and Ziggy makes so many Google Docs, specifically Google Sheets, with character builders and things like that. So we're gonna rely on a bunch of that. I am building out, by the way, a publicly accessible part of my Notion. Notion's a note-taking app. So I'm building out a publicly accessible part of the Notion. It publishes just to a URL link like anything else. And in there, it works like a wiki that people can go through and interact with these campaigns, see character bios, see visuals of the towns. And up there, I have basic information, including these Ziggy links I'm talking about. So you don't really need to take pen and paper and write this all down now, but hey, there's no shame or no bad marks for anyone that wants to get started early. But if you do get started early, here's a caveat to keep in mind. If you get started early, make sure you're building a flexible character. This is a pretty good note for all TTRPGs, even as a new novice game master. I would comfortably give this advice to anyone. When you create a character for TTRPG, keep it loose. if you build a character that was specifically born on this date, went to exactly this location, and then, this is exactly the rank they got, that can be really hard to work into a campaign because now you've got all these very precise variables that must be met. What if our campaign takes place 100 years earlier? What if it takes place on the other side of the country? What if I have you guys as an opposite faction to that character? We're not going to be throwing stuff at you like curveballs to trick you. I don't mean it like that. I just mean that there needs to be, in all players and GMs as well, a flexible nature to their characters where you say, I really like this idea of a plot arc for my character. I really want to touch on these areas of the universe. I really want to explore this kind of stuff. But be willing to flex that into an appropriate mold. As a reminder, these summer campaigns are going to be 1-shots to 3-shots. So they are not going to be endless world exploration. That can come later. If people enjoy this and they want to do more at home or with us as a bigger group in the future, we can do that. But these campaigns are going to be very short, bursty episodes that stay really on topic. And I'm harping on this just for a second because I did get a funny contrarian comment on TikTok that I addressed. It was a video where I had said one of our campaigns is going to take place exclusively within a vault. And one of the commenters said, I'm leaving the vault. Now, I get it. Probably all fun and games and a good joke. But at the same time, it's worth saying that because these are going to be short campaigns, they are going to be railroaded. Players can have fun. They can deviate from the plot here and there. But also remember that you're at a table with other players, so you don't want to undermine the entirety of the plot just because you're feeling contrarian or whatever at that moment. That's going to be the real test of any player, is how well they get along with others at the table. If you want to go and watch some stuff on this, by the way, highly recommend the YouTube channel Crit Crab. He does amazing videos about this. Another one I would recommend would be Arcane Arcade. They do great videos about this. I find them just to be almost like it's almost like watching something like a Dr. Phil type of show, in the sense that they're going over like the worst cases, and you just kind of, it's got that rubbernecking syndrome where you're like, what the heck? You're just listening to these stories of bad GMs or bad players. And what usually makes a bad player or bad GM is not sharing at the table. So just as a warning to everyone out there, this is just a generic GM advice to everybody. Make sure you share. Make sure you remember that your character will be spotlighted in specific instances, and to make sure to share that spotlight with other characters. Kindergarten stuff, I know, right? But it is something that we can lose in the heat of the moment. It's something that some players don't know that they're doing either. So again, I say the summer campaign is all going to be very low pressure. It's going to be very fun. It's for people who want to get in there and explore something different that they haven't had a chance at before. And it's going to save you from buying a bunch of these books. I love them. I get a kickback again if you use that code. But a $50 investment on a book in 2025 in this economy? Yeah. So thanks for bearing with me as I'm bullshitting and having some fun here. And I like that I'm on camera. I don't know if I'm looking at the camera or not, but I'm having fun. I am enjoying myself. What else can I say now? So one campaign will take place in a vault. One of them might have to do with exploring a vault. One of them might just be an above-ground adventure. I got lots of little ideas, and that's what I'm going to be doing this next month, is really tucking in and formulating them. I do want to touch on episode 11 here, though, as we're going through this. So I'll save that towards the end, I think, is the recap of last week's episode. But as for the summer stuff, if you see some YouTube shorts about it, if you see some TikTok videos about it that I'm making, please feel free to like them, share them out, comment on them. I just mass sent that out on TikTok to a bunch of people. One that I said, if you have D&D friends that like Fallout, share this with them, please, by all means. I'm just starting to have a conversation with a large mass audience with it. A conversation that's not two people in a room or two people in a call, but me talking to hundreds of people or such. I'm just trying to get people's brains in the space for this. That's my goal right now, is setting expectations. I do encourage you, go check out the primary campaign that this episode's linked to. Go get involved with the Tales from Tomorrow main campaign, because if you see how we GM over there, if you see how we play over there, that's what you can expect. That's what you'll get out of the summer campaigns. So you'll have an idea in your own mind. Okay. I'm sure there's more I could add to that. I talked my butt off over on the last couple. I even recorded a really nice long video that TikTok just ate. Oh, TikTok. Well, this is rant. Kyle, anti-capitalism rant. TikTok and Instagram in a microcosm are proof that things are not going to get better under capitalism. I love that an app who is dedicated to video and an app who is dedicated to photo/video, Instagram, I love that the bare necessity of the app barely works. For years, I had the issue, and it still exists, by the way, that when you're trying to upload pictures to Instagram, its crop gets all weird and out of whack. And you kind of have to like exit out of the upload thing, go back in, and then it kind of resets the ratio or it resets the ratio for it all. It's weird. And TikTok, for years, if you record a video, sometimes at the end of it, when you press done, just gone into the void. And I've heard it's about, oh, your phone doesn't have enough space. I mean, I live in a luxury where my phone does have 250 gigs, and I'm not using all of that. So try again, TikTok. The shit stinks a little too much for me in this case. It just annoys me. It's so frustrating. We talk about how content creators are forced into a funnel with the algorithm, and it feels like we're even more beat down when you record a video that you're proud of, and then it just gets washed away into the void of nothingness because somebody isn't paid to care about that anymore, right? That these companies just don't care. Soapbox over. I'll say no more than that. I just don't need to to rail on it further in this. Let's talk about episode 11. So, by the way, also, just to say that episode 12 is coming this upcoming Sunday. That is, I think the 26th. Is that right? 27th. April 27th, we'll be back. One of our players does have a shift in life stuff, so we may be looking at changing our recording dates as well. Just to call out. This is why we do the Overseer log. The diary, the background, the housekeeping, it all happens here. What else is there to say? So, episode 11. We basically started with our players recovering from the jail cell debacle where the Mothman cultist had burst roots from his body. Our players had some conversations with the townsfolk, decided that they were going to head out the next, I believe it's next day, to go to attack the beachhead. They set off on their mission, and that's where the primary part of the episode really took place, was the assault on the beachhead. I think one of the coolest things to call out of that was the cultists who walked up to the APC and used their Mothman magic on it and had these roots burst forth and kind of start to crush it like a tin can, only then to punt it across the street later, which Lena is now trapped inside of this half-crushed or partially crushed APC, tossed on its side. Very scary to see what happens as a result of that. And I think most notably, because we weren't sure if we were going to take the last weekend off, Sam, I left him in an unconscious state. He was punched through the boat bridge window, right through the glass as he fell onto the shoreline below. And to his point, said that his character hit his head on the concrete there. So Sam was quite dazed. We weren't sure, again, if we were going to come back on, was it 420? Blaze Up? Yeah. We weren't sure if we were going to have an episode on 420, and we didn't. So this works out fine. We'll just be picking up with the lore right where we were. We'll dive into that plot. I guess I could sit here and describe more of it, but I think in the essence of time today, I'm just not going to. I mean, what I will say is I did a recap of it up on the Substack page. So if you want to go check that out there, tftfallout.com, please put your email in, get subscribed for that. I don't send out spammy messages over there. You get two emails a week, one for the primary episode and one for the Overseer log. Getting closer to the summer, warning, there will be some emails about the TTRPGs for the summer. So that will go out there too. Just, try not to get too mad about it. I know we're all spammed and inundated with stuff, but just still give it a like. Give it a like on Substack. Restack it. I think you could do that. Is there anything else I need to say? I don't think so. Code BTAIL17 at checkout the Bethesda shop. There's a couple new items if you want to check those out and grab any of those. Maybe I could... I don't know that I have this set up to briefly show you it. I was going to say I'll show you. No. You know how to get there. Just open Google or wherever else and type in Bethesda shop and you'll find the Fallout stuff. There's a new challenge coin, one of the metal ones. And I don't even know what the other one is. I've already forgotten. Something else up there. But you can get it 20% off with our code BTAIL17. If you like this type of video, if you want me to do more sit here and talk to you all style videos, I'd love to do it. This is great. I could do this all day, but I do have to take a shower. I can do this all day, but I'm going to go take a shower soon to go eat. Yeah, that's going to be it. I could drag this out forever, but I will say go check out the TikTok account. It should be linked below. It's also probably up on the TFT Fallout site. That my brain just paused because I couldn't remember. Did I tell you all that we're making the wiki? I don't know if it got into this one or not. I think I did, but I've recorded so much back to back. We're getting a Notion page set up with the wiki. So if you're interested in that, that's going to have character bios and backgrounds, and the recaps are going up there. There's all kinds of stuff. Maps will be shown there. I want to make it an interactive place for people so that you can find cool content and dive deeper. Very open to questions, whether you leave them as a comment on this video, which I highly recommend. Thumbs up, share it, like it, subscribe, comment below. But also over on TikTok. That's where I'm going to be focusing probably a lot of the back and forth on this stuff. It's just an easy format for me to respond to people very quickly when they have questions about this TTRPG. But don't be shy. If you got some time this summer, please speak up. It does take a little bit of time. TTRPGs are not instantaneous things. Our sessions run for about 3 hours, and at times it feels a little pressured. We might do shorter ones this summer for newer players, so it's only like maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, potentially. So if you could set that aside per week for 3 weeks, consider, chime in, let us know. Don't be skittish about it. We know that a lot of people's schedules will fall through. That is known to me. And in fact, maybe I should even have a little bit of a mechanic in my mind. I will build my plots knowing that some of the people just won't show up, and I might build some things outside of the game in a way that we can slot other players in. So I'll think about that. I'll think about that. For all of you out there, what could you do to go and get started right now? Well, Modiphius website has the quick start guide. So you could go get that, and you could figure out making yourself a Vault Dweller character. Emphasis from earlier, though, keep them flexible so that their lore can fit in with any vault in any location. You will have time to formulate those last little bits. It's like building or finessing just many different things in life. Like, no examples coming to mind, but maybe it's like I don't know. It's like whittling a leg for a desk table. You know what it needs to do. It needs to bear weight, but the final design is something you can whittle down over time, and you can get those flourishes in at the very end. Think of your character maybe similar to that you just build the overarching element to your character. Are they a brawler? Are they a nerd? Are they a scientist? Like, what area do they fit into in that world? And then, as we know, the timing and the location and all that other stuff, you can begin to really pin those pieces together. Oh, they were a nerd and they studied at VTU, or they're a brawler and of course they were part of this sort of gang, pre-war, whatever it is. Like, we can make that all up as we go. And that's the fun of it, is just playing off of one another. Improv is the name of the game. So with that, I will leave you all. Thank you to everyone that came by and watched this episode. I thank you immensely. Hopefully you've enjoyed this different take on an Overseer's log. I had the time today. I had the energy for it. I had the lighting for it. So why not? I'll look into doing these regularly in the future. When my players' time and their schedules calms down a bit, we'll talk about having them back onto the show for some more of those dives into their characters. So to anyone listening, to hanging out here today on the live thing, have fun. If you're listening to this in podcast form, just know that we live streamed it up on YouTube and Twitch. And if you said hi in chat, I apologize, I didn't have that open today. just because this was impromptu. So we'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. End. Okay, there we go. Hey, that's